They had me in common. I will always use me as an example. They teamed up together to try to bring me down, but here I am, standing tall, being the boss that I am. So, hey. Undercover liar. I lie under the cover. I look a chick in the eye and tell her, baby, I love her. What's up, Jules? Diamond Girl here. Anyway, welcome back to another Sunday night recap of Power. Tonight we are recapping episode, I believe it's number 6, Inside Man. What can I say? This show, I tried to give you a different part of the song. I am not a rapper. I can sing just a little bit, but whatever. So you got that part that's real slick, real quick. I had to clean it up because I'm not a cuss up. So anyway, let's talk about episode 6, Inside Man. And most of this episode is about who we find out that's been playing games. He's the youngest game player in the whole circle, and that is Tyrek. So we learn in this episode that Tyrek is playing everybody. Let me say that again. He's playing everybody. Oh my God. So I have my trusty notes here, as I always say. See that? Because I take a lot of notes when I'm watching, even though it's a lot to try to write down because there's so much going on. And although I've seen it already, it's still great to watch. So anyway, let's talk about Tyrek. Well, there's a lot that I didn't say in the last episode. I believe in the last episode, yes, it was the last episode. Tyrek took Proctor's daughter over to his cousin Benny's house because Proctor's dead, right? Tyrek knew that. And now we move into episode 6 because being that the whole episode is revolving around him, you kind of need a little backstory on Tyrek as far as how he ends up where he ends up in episode 6. So the thing is, he took Elisa Marie over to her cousin's house and he got snatched off the street. So he gets snatched off of the street by Vincent because Vincent finds out that Tyrek is playing him, right? Remember, Tyrek ran out of the product that he stole from Tommy. Part of it he ran out of. The other part Tommy learned about. Tommy learned that Tyrek stole the pills from him, right? Gave him this whole lecture when he showed up at Tyrek's school, letting him know, like, you don't want to be a part of this drug life, etc., etc. And he took the drugs that Tyrek took from him. So that left Tyrek nothing but the stash that he had. And we know that Tyrek gets kicked out of school because old girl that he thought was on his side wasn't on his side. She was a competitor. And she ratted him out. He got kicked out of school. So now Tyrek is in this situation where he still wants to be a pill pusher. And I keep calling him that because he's not a drug dealer. He's a pill pusher. He doesn't know how to do it. Although he has parents who know how to do it. One is dead set on him being better, which is the right thing to do. And the other one, she ain't got no sense. Absolutely none. So Tyrek gets pulled off the street and Vincent pulls him off the street because Vincent finds out that Tyrek gave him baby aspirin. So now Vincent's reputation is on the line. And to make a long story short, Tyrek works this deal out with Vincent, and you learn that in this episode, Tyrek lets Vincent know, if you use me, you can get what you want, but you also got to give me 50% of whatever you want. So Tyrek is playing everybody. So far, he's the best chess player out of everybody, but I want to say he still can't beat his father, for lack of words. But we'll learn as we get into these episodes, these recaps, that he can't beat his father. And I'll cover that when I get down that road as we go this way. So anyway, he's telling Vincent how to play everybody. And it's so funny because at this point, no one can stand anybody, right? Tommy and Ghost are at odds. Lakeisha and Tasha are at odds. Then Tommy and Ghost have a bigger issue outside of each other is Jason. And it's so funny because no matter how much no one can stand each other, except for Lakeisha, who really didn't want to help, but she did it anyway. And I think part of her did it because she's a mom herself, is the fact that he gets everybody to work with everybody because everybody has the same thing in common, and that's him. They want his well-being to be okay, right? They don't want Tyrek in any trouble. So regardless of what their differences are, they all work together. And it's so funny because I remember hearing this one time in church, and it holds true. Like, two people cannot like each other, but because they don't like you, they'll work together. They'll put that difference aside and work together to get you, if getting you is what they want to do, right? It's a good lesson to learn, and it's actually a lesson from the scripture itself, so it's not something that's made up. I've seen it in real life. I've seen it happen. I've seen people who were not the best of friends, weren't really acquaintances, weren't really associates, but because they had me in common, I will always use me as an example, they teamed up together to try to bring me down. But here I am, standing tall, being the boss that I am. So, hey, what can I say? It's like I said last commentary. Be careful of the ditch you dig, because you may very well be digging it for yourself. Moving on. So, Tyrek manages to get all of them to work together, but he's trying to benefit from it. And it doesn't go too well for him. But he plays the role very well. He is conniving and he is sneaky like his mama to a degree. And he has the wit and the intelligence of his father. You know, it's amazing. It's so amazing how we are exactly like our parents, and also like the people outside of our parents, like our aunts and uncles and things like that. So anyway, I love the way Ghost is when it comes down to his son. It's his only son, right? Because he has two daughters. And he wants to crack Vincent open. He's like, don't put your hands on my son. And Tommy is like, Ghost, you need to calm down. He's okay. Like, the whole dramatic of it, it just leaves me speechless because, you know, Ghost is one of those people, like, if you touch anything that's connected to me that I care about, I'm going to get you. I have it out for you. And even with sitting almost, I think, handcuffed to a chair with guns pointed at his face, his head, or whatever, and his son is sitting before him, regardless of how his son is behaving, he's like, I'm not trying to hear this. And don't get me wrong, Tommy's not trying to hear it either, but he's like, yo, you need to chill. Like, I need you to chill. You know, think, stay rational here. He's fine. And Tyrek's playing them, and the thing is, even before they get there, everybody, they're trying to figure out Vincent's ransom, right? So Vincent has a $2 million ransom. We learn after the fact that half of that Tyrek wants. So he tells them that this is what the ransom is. If you want to get Tyrek back, you're going to have to give me this money. You're going to have to give it to me in 24 hours. Lord have mercy. Raising $2 million in 24 hours. I can't even imagine how hard that is. Sometimes it's hard to raise $500 if you're trying to raise money. But they all get together and they put their differences aside, all meaning Lakeisha, Tasha, Ghost, and Tommy, and they get this money up. And they have to eat humble pie to a degree to get the money that they need. And it's amazing because they pull it off. But as everything goes in life, nothing ever goes smoothly, right? So Tommy goes to Jason and buys out all of Jason's drugs. And Jason is like, something's going on here. But Tommy's really good. He doesn't divulge the information to Jason. And I really love that about them. You know, regardless of how they are at odds with each other, they still protect each other. And that's the thing that I love about their friendship. Like, it's whatever their beef is with them, it's their beef. It's internal. They will handle it. They don't want nobody on the outside of it. And I'm able to pull things like that out of their relationship, no matter how volatile, no matter how toxic it is, because with it being volatile and toxic, the good, the positive that I pull out of it, it's amazing. Friendship, their level of friendship is bananas. And I keep saying it because it is. And sometimes it does take a lifetime like that to get that kind of friendship with someone, but I've seen people turn on people no matter how cool they are, no matter how tight they are, no matter how long they've known each other. It's happened to me. You know, I can't tell you how many times I'm a sister, you know, love you like a sister and la la la, and I'm loyal to you and the way you're loyal to me, when it's really not like that. People can be low-key jealous, people can be low-key hateful, people can not know what truly is going on and come up with their own interpretations of what is going on in their delusions, for lack of words, when really they should just come and talk to you. I think we've all been down that road, though. I'm not the only one, I'm sure. But anyhow, sometimes people can just, for lack of words, hate on what they don't understand. And the thing is, if you're cool with somebody and they're doing great and you're doing great, but they may be doing a little better than you, if you don't understand it, why don't you just go and talk to God about it, because it's God's doing anyway. That's the best way that I can say it. You know, the flip side is if you're really cool with somebody, and I'm saying cool, not like talking about friendship type of cool, you're supposed to know them. So if you know them the way you know them, then anything that you have a question about, you should be able to go and talk to them about it. But again, I'm recapping Inside Man episode 6, but these life things do come out, and I don't have a problem being transparent or sharing, because hopefully even in these recaps, it will help somebody, it will encourage somebody, it will inspire somebody, because that's exactly what Diamond Girl is all about anyway. So they all, going back to the show, they all start working together to get Tyrek free of Vincent, when they don't even realize that Tyrek is playing all of them. Vincent is not trying to harm him. Vincent is trying to get his money, but Vincent will try to harm them after the fact. One of the most craziest scenes is when Tyrek is beat with the oranges. I can't even begin to imagine how painful it is, but I really love the way Ghost responds to that. He's like, Vincent, I'm gonna get you. Please know I'm coming for you. I'm sorry. I'm coming for you. You gotta check those teeth, because this lipstick, I have you embarrassed after the fact. So, yeah, he gets the beating of his life. He wasn't expecting that, but I think Vincent had to teach him a lesson as well, because Tyrek definitely needs to be taught a lesson, because he's doing a lot of playing. He's playing an adult game that he doesn't understand the rules, right? So it's crazy. So, again, Tommy goes to Jason, because I kind of got off on a tangent. Tommy goes to Jason, and Jason is like, something's going on. And because Jason is who he is, he finds out what's going on. And then Ghost, who's been giving Tate the business, has to go to Tate. But the thing with Ghost is he'll give you the business. He'll be that dude. But just like you almost can't say no to him, because even Tate couldn't say no to him. But they all pull it off. They get the money. And then what happens? Jason shows up. Sometimes there's a weasel smarter than you. Jason shows up, thinks they're working together, takes half of the $1 million, gives them this speech, blah, 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 and they're stuck. So what happens? They come up with this brilliant idea to set up a robbery in Ghost's club during this campaign thingy, and they make the money back, and they get Tyrek, and it's just amazing how things come together. But it's just amazing that they can't get past Jason. He's easily to handle because he's just as dirty as he want to be with my brother. I mean, even with that, it's just so like, oh my God, it's fake. You know it's fake. But Jason is he's another type of devil, for lack of words. And he just figured out what he figured out because he has his hands in everything he has his hands in things that clearly they don't know that he has his hands in, and he finds out and he confronts them about it. And I love it because that brings Tommy and Ghost together more. And one thing about Tommy and Ghost, they work well together when they want to get rid of somebody. As we've seen in every season, every top distributor that they needed to get rid of, anyone that was a threat that they needed to get rid of, regardless of what their differences were, they work well together in getting rid of whom they need to get rid of. So I'm looking forward to seeing again how they get rid of Jason, because of course they're going to get rid of Jason. And of course it is Ghost who calls the shots, because since this seems like a game of chess to me, we know who the one is that has the power on the chessboard, and that is the queen. And we know that Ghost here is the queen, right? So with closing my commentary or this recap of episode 6, Inside Man, one of the things that I absolutely loved about this episode is that even after getting Tyrek back, even Ghost and Tasha, who are at odds too, when it comes to their children, when it comes to their son, they're able to have somewhat of a civil conversation, and they figure out that Tyrek helped Tommy in the penthouse to kill Proctor. And the reason why they figured this out is more so because of Ghost, because Ghost just pays attention to everything. He realized Tommy's facial expression, his body, his actions, his body, his posture, everything, when they're all standing there doing the trade for money, for the trade for Tyrek and the money. And Benny is having this conversation with Ghost because Ghost called in the favor to Benny with this whole Vincent situation, and you find out that Benny is made. He's not just made, but he's made. And Vincent has to back down, right? And Ghost and Benny is having this conversation with Tommy standing right there, and he's like, listen, thanks so much, etc., etc. But he's also saying, Benny that is, to Ghost, like, who you told me killed my cousin is not the person who killed my cousin. And I don't believe at that moment Ghost knew. He had an idea it was Tommy, but didn't know it was Tommy until he saw Tommy's posture and Tommy's disposition. So then later on, him and Tasha are having this whole conversation about it. And they're like, hold up, Tyrek had something to do with this. Tyrek helped Tommy. So they're both shocked by that. And I'm like, why are you guys shocked at your seed? This is your seed. Not only did you make him physically, you kind of morphed him into the person he is today. Why are you shocked? You guys have taught him how to lie. You have taught him how to cheat. You have taught him how to maneuver and manipulate things so that it works in his favor. Why are y'all surprised? But anyway, like I said, I'm recapping. I'm loving this show. I'm loving it. I'm glad I'm able to recap it. I'm glad I'm able to recap it with you guys. If you like this video, as always, give it a thumbs up. If you're not a part of the Jewel Empire, please, I welcome you with open arms. Become a part of this empire. Let's grow together. Let's sparkle together. Let's stay brilliant together. If you are a part of the gang or the empire, welcome back to another commentary. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when I upload a video. And I will see you next week on another recap commentary of the final season of Power. Mwah.